Hey everyone, I'm Paul with Best of the West, Arizona. Today we're going to talk about our Accurizer service. So what is an Accurizer service? Well, an Accurizer service is a process by which we pair your rifle with a Huskemaw optic of your choice. To learn more about our Accurizer service, be sure to visit our website at bestofthewestarizona.com and look for the Accurizer Services tab. To break it down in its simplest forms, we have 4 basic services to our Accurizer service: a scope mount, barrel seasoning for new rifles, load testing, and data collection. Additionally, if your gun requires it, we can provide gunsmithing services as well. For example, we'll put a side port muzzle brake on your rifle, an aftermarket trigger, maybe bed the action, whatever your system may need to improve its overall accuracy. Now, an Accurizer service is intended to maximize the ballistic potential of your rifle. And we are, in fact, creating a long-range hunting system. We're going to load test and find out which bullet your rifle prefers, and then we're going to shoot your gun out to about 1,000 yards and collect ballistic and environmental data from that session. And once we do that, we're going to have the information we need to etch you a custom turret. In this process, as you'll see, we're actually going to shoot your gun out to 1,000 yards. The other guys aren't doing that. We're going to determine your actual ballistic coefficient of your bullet going through your barrel on your gun. The other guys aren't doing that either. We're also going to chronograph your bullet coming out of your barrel so that we have an actual reading to use with our custom yardage turret. On the back end, this turret is as unique as a fingerprint. There is no other turret like it. It's unique and specific to your bullet going through your barrel on your gun. Now, once you have a custom turret, things are very simple for you on the back end when you're out in the field hunting. This is a simple range, dial, compensate for wind, and shoot system. So we're going to take you start to finish through the whole entire Accurizer process. And for this project, we've chosen the Christensen Arms Ridgeline chambered in 7 Rem mag, and we're going to pair it with our Huskemaw 5-30. Before we get started, I want to introduce you to the other models in the Huskemaw line of optics. First of all, the Huskemaw 5-20 Blue Diamond, probably the #1 seller, just a good price point, good entry-level price point for long-range shooting, super high-quality optic, 5-20 magnification with a 30mm tube. Next up from the 5-20 Blue Diamond is the 5-20 Tactical Hunter. Now this is a 34mm tube, still has a 50mm objective, and again, magnification ranging from 5-20. And again, for this project, we've selected our 5-30 Tactical Hunter by Huskemaw. This is our favorite scope. This is the one that we use almost exclusively, and this is our #1 selling scope out of our shop here in Arizona. We recommend this for all Western hunting, but especially those Coues deer hunters here in Arizona and Mexico. Love the 30 power magnification and that 56mm objective. The tactical scopes also feature an internal bubble level. So this is just a great all-around hunting tool and a great optic to contribute to your hunting success. Now, before we get too far, I also want to show you our Huskemaw 4x40. This is our crossbow scope. This is the one that we put on our Ravens. And as you probably already know, we're a Raven dealer, and we pair Raven crossbows with our Huskemaw optic, and again, create a custom yardage turret on top. And this is our 4x40. One of the questions I want to answer for you from the beginning is, why Huskemaw optics? Well, in fact, Huskemaw is the only brand of optics that we sell. It's the only optic we'll stand behind and put our name on. We've been using Huskemaw optics for just about a decade now, and I've never seen any other optic perform to the degree that the Huskemaw does. Out here in Arizona, like in a lot of places out west, the terrain is very rugged, rocky, rough country. And we go hard and work hard just like you do, and we need an optic that's going to withstand that sort of beating, quite frankly. And we're pretty hard on our equipment. We don't mean to be, it's just the nature of the beast. And the Huskemaw optic gets banged around in the side-by-side, maybe while we're out, glassing and moving from position to position, and never, ever gets knocked off zero. To the contrary, we've seen a lot of other optics get knocked off zero quite easily. So we just don't trust those optics. We do, however, trust Huskemaw optics. Another reason why we prefer the Huskemaw system is its simplicity. In the moment of truth, I don't want to be doing complicated math on a ballistic calculator. I don't want to be reading a dope chart taped to the side of my stock, and I certainly don't want to be counting clicks when my heart's beating through my chest. I like the yardage turret. I love the yardage turret because it makes things simple. I simply range up my rangefinder, dial the yardage turret to the appropriate range, compensate for wind, and pull the trigger. Now with that, the wind compensation is also on the turret. So that's unique and specific to Huskemaw. That's patented. No one else can have your wind solution on the turret, but Huskemaw does. And what that means for me as the shooter is my wind solution is on the turret. I don't have to take that extra step of dialing for wind or dialing up a calculated compensation for wind on my ballistic calculator. It's all fast, easy, straightforward. Another reason why we love the Huskemaw, specifically the Tactical Hunter line of optics, is the internal bubble level. If you're familiar with long range shooting, you know that you have to be perfectly level, especially at distances beyond 300-400 yards. If you're canting left or right, which all of us naturally do, it will throw your bullet off. It will change your point of impact. With the internal bubble level right in the reticle, the shooter doesn't have to break cheek weld. So once you're down, once you're comfortable and you're in the scope, you can simply determine if you're level as one of the last checkpoints on your checklist right before you pull the trigger. So the internal bubble level is clutch. One final reason we back Huskemaw is because of the lifetime warranty. You're not gonna have to worry about anything with this optic, and there's a lifetime warranty to guarantee it. Once again, before we get started, be sure to check out bestofthewestarizona.com. You'll find information on our custom rifles, our Huskemaw optics, all the other services that we provide, including shooting schools, one-on-one shooting lessons, of course, our Raven crossbows as well. And with that, let's get started with this project.
Hey everybody, this is Brett with Best of the West Arizona. We're going to go ahead and jump into the first part of our Accurizer service, which is going to be seasoning the barrel. So just a reminder, barrel seasoning is only necessary for new guns, guns that haven't been shot. If guns have been shot already, 40, 50, 60 rounds down the barrel, we don't have to do this step. We are all done with the barrel seasoning, and right now we're going to jump into the scope mount. Remember, these are expensive optics, and we don't want any damage to occur by an improper mount job. So we have all of the tools, we have all of the equipment to do it right and to not cause any damage to these scopes. So for these purposes, we're going to utilize a Tally pick rail with a 20 MOA on it. We're also going to utilize the Warren Mountain Tech 34mm low rings. So let's jump into it. All right, this scope is all mounted up and level. We are ready to take it out to the range. All right, everybody, we're doing some load testing right now. We've got some different ammunition that we're gonna try. We're shooting at 100 yards, and we're gonna find out what this gun shoots best. Right after this, we're gonna jump into some data collection. All right, load testing is complete. We found the bullet that's working the best. It's actually a 180 VLD. This is shooting actually a .54, so almost right at a half a minute. We're gonna utilize this bullet. We're gonna shoot out to 200, 500, and 1,000 yards to collect our data, and we're gonna go from there. So stand by. And with that, we'll have all the information we need to create a custom turret for this gun.
Well, that's a wrap. This rifle is shooting very well. We're extremely comfortable using this in long-range hunting scenarios. Thank you for following along the entire Accurizer Service process. You've got to see everything, every step along the way, and now we've got a competent shooting rifle. Be sure to look us up at bestofwestarizona.com or give us a call at 480-682-7763. Again, for Best of the West Arizona, I'm Paul Bourgeois.